So guys, thank you very much for joining us. You're here to discuss exciting new product, Excalibur.
Yeah. So, new out on the market. Yeah, it's going very, very well. Got to say, it's certainly very interesting. It's been fantastic to work on and develop, which is obviously the most exciting thing.
You've been getting quite a lot of good reviews now, haven't you?
Fantastic reviews. Yeah, I mean, if you go on Amazon, Muscle Talk, a lot of the forums, I mean, everyone's really getting behind it, and obviously there's some really, really big products in the market, brand leaders, and to get a product to take almost market share or consumer awareness away from them, you've got to have something special. And I'm not saying the packaging's been the only thing. I mean, it's very, very interesting and makes you want to pick it up. But we've really, really focused more than anything on the formulation and getting it absolutely perfect, so it's fit for purpose but also very functional. In manufacturing production, you can look at it two ways. I mean, you can either produce a product for a certain price, obviously that then gives you kind of ingredient quality or even say packaging limitations. The alternative is that you can just go hell for leather and just produce whatever you want, so then it's up to you to kind of pick up the pieces, for sort of profit wise. But we just thought, whereas since the VAT increase has come on, it seems like the quality and innovation of sports nutrition has gone a little bit down to to where we were, say, 10, 15 years ago. Everything's very, very bulk centralized, very, very price conscious. We just thought, let's go in the other direction. Let's actually do something that's very, very interesting and innovative. And Aston Martins don't sell as much as Fords, but I know what I'd rather be driving. So.
And, the regime I have for a UFC fighter, you're training every day, 2-3 times a day. It's a lot of pain and a lot of, it's a hard life basically. And sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're not feeling up to it, because you've got, weights, and you've got to wrestle, and you've got to box, and your body's taking a lot of pounding all the time. I use this product pretty much, I try and use it 5 times a week. So any day that I wake up and I'm feeling a bit stiff or a bit horrible, the greatest thing I think about the product is it gives you that extra boost, and you feel really good about yourself when you take the product. I don't know the scientific way, I'm sure Alex can help us with that, but it gives me like a buzz, I'd say, and you look forward to training after you've taken the product, and it really helps when you get through the tough days of training, and it just pushes me to that extra level. It's fantastic.
Why is that? I mean, why would it elevate the mood, do you reckon?
Well, the tyrosine levels in it, for a start. I mean, tyrosine's been shown to really, really help regulate serotonin and dopamine levels. One of the crucial things that we looked at when you're entering any kind of diet, whether it's an increase in exercise as well as just keeping a standard calorie count, or whether you're going into a calorie deficient diet, is that mood is massively affected. People want to eat the foods that they normally eat. People do get passionate about food, and when you're restricting that kind of facet of your everyday life, I mean, food is a huge, huge factor. So to almost kind of be almost apprehensive about going into a diet, or even being anxious about maintaining a diet because you want to crave and eat certain foods, to have something that elevates your mood throughout that journey effectively of weight loss is just going to help you further. So again, it's something that I think is very, very much overlooked, and tyrosine is used in plenty of other products, but it's also been shown to really, really help protein uptake. At the end of the day, if you're going to look at weight loss as a measurement, then that's all very well and good, but if you're entering into exercise as well as trying to lose weight, you sometimes find that your body fat actually drops, but your weight stays the same because you're building lean muscle tissue. That in effect is a huge benefit, because your muscles are also your body's engines. The bigger the engines, the more fuel they require. So it's a reciprocal cycle. Again, it's a key ingredient that we really focused on, and it's something that is often overlooked by many other companies. But what we want to do is, again, make it so functional. We want so many USPs to the product that honestly, we want to be in a situation where people need to decide why they shouldn't take the product as opposed to why they should.
Well, look, speaking of mixed martial arts, I know, I mean, it's one of the passions I have. I've always followed it as well. It's not like any other training. I mean, as you say, you have to do wrestling, you have to do cardiovascular, you have to do strength. I mean, it's a combination of everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I guess for you to be trusting this product and be utilizing this product, it actually must be good, because some other products actually from reviews, weight loss products can make you feel really weak. Some other products, it can affect your training. So okay, it's one thing to take it if you're just sitting at home, but for you at the top of your game, while fighting the UFC, which is the elite of mixed martial arts, it must be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, every time you take a new supplement, there's always questions, and you worry about, you know, the effect it's going to have. I mean, I've known Alex a little while, and I trust everything he's ever told me. And when I worked with the product to start with, the first time I took it, it really shocked my system. You know, the first time I took it, I was like, it blew my head off, and I really got amazing results from it straight away. And I was so happy with the product that I said to Alex, like, do you think I should use it every day? Should I take, you know? And he was like, listen, take it, you know, 4 or 5 times a week, you know, on your hard training days, and make sure you give yourself a rest from the product, because so then you keep getting that great gains from it. And you have to be careful what you take as a professional athlete. You know, like you said, the training is very, very hard, and you can't just take any willy-nilly product. You can't just go into a store and buy something, because, you know, you need the quality there, and you need to make sure that you're getting the best out of everything you do. And this product definitely helps me get the best out of every session, you know, and that's why I take it, because it just elevates my mood. You talk about emotional eating. There's also like emotional training. If you don't feel great about yourself, you don't get the best results from your training sessions. You know, whether that's playing tennis, lifting weights, or whatever you want to do. You know, you feel good, you look good, you do good. You know, and
it hasn't affected your strength level, has it?
My strength's only got better taking the product. You know, I've been, for this camp, my fight, I'm fighting a guy called Andrew Craig. He's quite a strong middleweight. He comes from an NFL background, so he's an American footballer. Strength has been a real big focus on my camp, and I've been doing strength conditioning 4 times a week. You know, mixture of lifting weights, sprints, you know, all sorts of stuff. And it's definitely, that's I think where it's helped me the most. You know, with my jiu-jitsu and boxing and those sort of things, the effect helps, but it's more of just an energy boost and a mood boost. With my strength training, I can feel the product working while I'm working, you know, and it definitely gives me an up. And I take it about 10 o'clock in the morning. I have my session at 12, so, you know, it really gets into my system straight away, and then I feel good as I'm going to my session. I do my strength session at 12 o'clock, and it lasts me all the way through till 8, 9 o'clock. I can feel the feelings. And then I can almost feel it drop off in the evening as well, and sort of relax my body as well. Okay. So I finish training about 9 o'clock, and I go home, but I'm not still wired and can't sleep, you know, which is a problem you have with some of the other products.
Because you get a crash with some of the other products, don't you? I mean, like there's a bit of a high and then suddenly a drop.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. It's a very, very powerful product. And when I say powerful, I don't mean, you know, it's very, very heavy stimulant based, so it feels like it's owning you. When I say powerful, I mean it's effective. It does the job. And that's just, you know, raising your metabolism, you know, acting on certain mechanics of your body that basically increases your ability to utilize energy at a higher level for longer. Now, a lot of pre-workouts in the market have been very, very successful, and a lot of people love them. And, you know, I'm a massive fan of pre-workouts. And the fact that you can use this as a pre-workout, you know, is just another string to the bow of the product. But also, what I was a bit concerned about is, as many people are put off by the fact that some pre-workouts are so stimulant heavy than they are attracted to. So to have something that A, tackles your weight loss, you know, it helps your cravings and, you know, your hunger pangs, improves mood. You know, we've even got digestive aids in there, for example, which help digest carbohydrates and increase protein uptake. Again, all these kind of these USPs make it a very, very comprehensive product, which you can also use as a pre-workout for those who maybe don't want that massive, massive stimulant hit. Which is followed by a crash an hour later.
How do you actually use this product?
Well, we formulated it so it's just a 1 a day. You take it once a day. I say a lot of other products you may be able to take 2 capsules 3 times a day. We just tried to make it very powerful and effective, so you get longevity from the product. You can either take 1 capsule or 2 capsules in the morning, just before breakfast. It really helps if you have it with tea or coffee. Something warm helps to, you know, disperse the capsule better. Yeah, I mean, one of the great selling points of it as well is that it's obviously vegetarian and vegan friendly. It can be used by most religious groups. So again, it opens up a market that's normally quite segregated by the fact that other products contain gelatin, ours don't. But yeah, so what we don't want people to do is obviously, you know, take capsules and capsules and feel like they're rattling all day. One thing that we're very, very concerned about as a brand, and, you know, leading up into our second product, is functionality and the delivery of the product. We want to make it as easy to use as possible. We don't want people having to, you know, check their watch halfway through the day and think, oh, I've got to take my capsule now. You've done it in the morning. You don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. You just get on with what you do best.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what I've got, my workload for the day, I take 1 capsule or 2 capsules, you know, depending how it is. But yeah, it's so simple. I wake up, I have it with my breakfast, like you said, and it's just, you don't have to worry about it, and you can feel the effects all day long, even till, like I said, the end of the day when you're coming down and you want to relax, and you know it helps you do that as well. I don't know how. Well, I don't know the science, but it helps you chill out after your training, and you still don't. You know, that's a big problem I always have with stimulants and pre-workouts is once you finish training, you still have that like. You know, you can't go to sleep and you're wired in bed sometimes, and that's a real big no-no for me because I need to get good rest. I need my 8 hours sleep a day.
Oh, you need to recover. I mean, the most important aspect is recovery, and you need to sleep.
And recovery is like, you know, as important as training. You know, if you're training hard, you need to recover just as well. So it really helped me with that as well. I get a great night's sleep after I've taken a product in the morning, so it's good.
So Alex, how far into, like, when did you say your fight was actually?
I've got another 4.5 weeks. Yeah.
Can Luke be taking this until the last bit?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we discussed with Luke is that it's effectively what they affectionately call in the market a fat burner. The problem with Luke is that you need to keep his weight very, very regular until the point where you obviously need to go into your dehydrated pattern to make weight for the fight. For Luke to gradually lose weight, it might be a case that actually you're under the weight that you wanted to be to perform at, which is obviously not a good thing. Being a weight class sport, you want to really be at the top of the weight as possible without kind of compromising your movement or your speed. I mean, Luke's a fantastic striker, so he needs to be on his feet and be able to shift around quite a lot.
I stopped taking this product. Like I fight on a Saturday and I stopped taking it on the Monday because I stop exercising. And I start my, like you said, a dehydrated pattern. So I start water loading and losing the weight. And from that Monday to the weigh-in on the Friday, I probably lose close to 12 kilos in weight, which is a lot of weight, obviously. You know, but this is all in a completely different scientific pattern I use. I load myself with water and then I deload myself with water. So this product is not made for that. It's not used for that. I use this to get good training in leading up to the fight. And then I don't need to take it anymore for that week. So, you know, it doesn't affect me at all leading up to the fight. I don't need to stop taking it because of any problems I have with the product. It's just to get the best out of my weight cut for that week.
Diet is, I'll be honest, in all of sport, it's the most overlooked component. I mean, if you'd think that sports performance is based on a triangle with your training on one point, your recovery on the other, and your diet and nutrition on the other, without any one of those points, the triangle's going to fold. And you know, using one of another sort of classic analogies, look at an F1 car, for example. You know, they'll spend as much money developing the fuel than they do the car because the car's useless without the fuel. And you should think of your human body in exactly the same way. Whatever you put in, you get out. Sometimes
I hear guys or girls, anyone, they say, "Oh yeah, I'm on this diet and I've lost 6 pounds as well." But okay, what do you eat? Cabbage. I was like, okay, fair enough. You know, is that all you eat? And you know, you think, okay, that's totally different weight loss to when you lose the weight correctly and you're giving your body the nutrients it needs.
And another thing that people don't consider in that is like athletic performance. Obviously, for me as an athlete, that's the most important thing. You know, so if I just went and ate cabbage, you know, I wouldn't be able to perform in the gym. My workouts would be terrible. And your sustained weight loss, this is the thing a lot I find, you know, I speak to a lot of people, mainly women, but you've got guys as well, that have these drastic diets and they go on, you know, and they go on a drastic diet and they'll lose 6, 7, 8 pounds and they think, you know, they hit their weight goal. But then a month later, they're back up where they started because they've not done it properly. They haven't, you know, a big mistake people make with weight loss, in my opinion, is you get a guy who's put on a lot of weight and it's taken him 5 years to put that weight on, you know, slowly working at his desk, eating the wrong foods, all the rest of it. And he wants to lose all that weight in 6 months. And I'm like, it took 5 years to put it on. It's going to take a little bit of time to get it off, you know, but products like this can help you there, but you have to be consistent and look for the long haul. And it's a way of life. Losing weight is a way of life. It's not just a quick fix. You need to work these products into a routine that keeps you going and keeps the weight off, you know, and then you can perform well in the gym, you know, you feel good about yourself and your life improves completely rather than just, you know, I lost 8 pounds this week, you know. What does that really mean? It doesn't really mean anything in my eyes, so.
Look, I mean, I like to talk about UFC and, well, not mixed martial arts a bit and your training. One thing that I know for sure, you have to be pretty intelligent. It's not just about training. It's actually, you're talking about elite of the elite when you're fighting in the UFC. So it's all about intelligence. You know, you have to be very scientific about what you do, and you have to really monitor yourself every day. So it must have been quite difficult for you to prepare for UFC events.
Yeah, I mean, for people that don't know, the UFC is obviously, it's the Premier League of MMA. There's loads of different organisations, but the UFC is at the top. You know, I'm fighting at the top league basically, and preparation. It's between 3 and 4 months per fight. You know, so I found out when my fight is 4 months ago. I found out who my opponent was 3 months ago, and that's when you just start honing in everything to beat that one guy. And you spend, you know, I've spent the last 3 months concentrating on one date, October 26th. You know, that's all I've been thinking about, and I have to build a game plan and a training regime to complement every little piece of the puzzle that I need to fix to win this fight. So I have a different coach for each part of my training. So I've got a boxing coach, a wrestling coach, a jiu-jitsu coach, a strength and conditioning coach, you know, and a head MMA coach who links it all together. So it's quite a complicated deal, and like you said, it's also you have to think about your psychology, your sports psychology, all that focus on one day. There's a lot of stress to your body, a lot of stress to your mind, and the idea of a fight, you know, because obviously it's a fight sport, it's a combat sport. To a lot of people, that's where a lot of people struggle. They think, you know, I've got to fight this guy. It's going to be, you know, I could get hurt, and all these sort of things. So that's where your mind is really very, very important. So you have to, you know, I do a lot of visualization. I'm just going to say that word, visualization for the fight. I write my goals out, which is a great thing for anyone in any sport or walk of life. You know, every morning I have to wake up. I have 4 different types of goals. I have physical goals, social goals, spiritual goals, and business goals. And I've written them out once a week, and every morning I wake up and I read through them to remind me why I'm doing the things I do and put my body through the paces that I'm putting it through. And it keeps you very targeted on one thing. It's a very, like you said, scientific and very, you know, designated goal and very designated thing I do every single day. Every single day I'm learning a specific thing for a specific reason to get the win, you know, at the end of the day. And to be that, you know, for 4 months to be concentrated on one single goal, it's very tiring. It is very difficult to do, and you have lapses and you go back and forth, but it's, you know, it's what being a professional athlete's all about, and that's the difference between the UFC and another organisation. You know, if you want to be the best at this sport, you have to put in the time and the effort, and a lot of people don't see that. They only see the 15 minutes you spend in the octagon. They only see the fight, and they think that, you know, anyone could do this. You just step in there and you have a fight, you know. But everything that goes into it is unbelievable. Like we said about nutrition and that triangle, you know, the rest is important. That you're not overworking your body and overtraining, which is a massive thing that guys in the UFC do. I think every MMA fighter on the planet overtrains, you know. So sometimes having a day off, because every time I have a day off, I feel guilty. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I should be in the gym because the guy you're fighting is getting better while you're not, you know. But rest is just important as training. Your nutrition is just important as training, and you know, it's a crazy sport to be involved in, but it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world, and I think we'll only see it get bigger from here.
Do you find sometimes that the actual fight day is the more pleasurable day, and the tough part is actually the preparation? I
mean, making weight, obviously it's a weight category as well I've got to fit into. That's one of the most stressful things, you know. My diet's got to be perfect for my performance, as well as cutting the weight and making the weight, and the preparation it's like a release when you fight. Fighting's easy, you know. Getting in the octagon and fighting 15 minutes is what I do. It's what I'm good at, you know. So the days and of waking up aching and in pain and having to go and do it all over again, and we do something called Shark Tank or pressure sparring. So, you know, I'll spar, I'll do 3 5-minute rounds, but I'll do it with a fresh person every minute. So I'm slowly getting tired, and they're coming in fresh and fresh and fresh. I call it mental training, because, you know, your body gives out, but your mind has to follow you through. And those days, I do every Tuesday and Thursday, are the worst. They're the days where, you know, I want to throw it all in, and I hate my job, and I don't want to do it anymore. And then when you get to fight week, it all gets relaxing, it all gets exciting, and when you fight, you forget about all the hardship you've been through.
Well, it makes sense, because, you know, so I've heard this a lot before. Like the moment when you getting back up in the second round, for example, or third round, the worst thing you can see is opposite to you having an opponent that's actually looking fresher than you. That's the scariest thing you can ever see. It's not them getting knocked out. That is the worst, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, that's what I train so hard for, to make sure that never happens, and that happens to the other guy. I mean, it hasn't happened to me yet. One of my fights, I fought a guy named Dylan Andrews, an Ultimate Fighter. We went into the third round, and it was an intense pace, this fight, very, very difficult. And I remember sitting on the stool, looking across at him, and he was down like this with his head like taking deep breaths. So I thought, I've got it, and I stood up and started pacing. I was shattered. I stood up, started pacing back and forth, staring at him, trying to get that psychological edge. But we were both at the wit's end and absolutely shattered. But you have to; those little things make a big difference.
To be honest, we're not interested in doing something that has already been done. If anything, we'd like to get something that's already been done and make it that little bit better, but not necessarily make it everything dramatically better every stage. My opinion is, in some respects, is if you get, say, a product that has multi-facets or multi-uses to it, by just making each one of those facets slightly better, you've developed something that is in its entirety that much better. So that's one of the things that we're working on. It's all about innovation and, more importantly, quality. I mean, there's not any aspect of this project with Excalibur or the forthcoming product that is going to be scrimped on. It's going to be absolutely the best or nothing.
Well, you look like you've got the winning team. Obviously, I know you've been in the industry for quite a long time, and it's good to have. I'm sure it's good for you to have someone like Luke to be, an ambassador, because he's obviously at the top of his game, and he can, always give you good feedbacks.
Well, Luke's in a mega position at the moment. I mean, he's in the fastest growing sport globally, I think, as far as participation is concerned, and certainly, viewing and the fan base out there. But the things with Luke, I mean, Luke's in a great position, similar to where I was 10 years ago, in that to have a sponsor, or to have someone help you reach your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals is fantastic. I never had that as an athlete, and you can ask 99% of the athletes out there, what could have you had, in your career or in your journey that would have helped you. I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 people will say sponsorship, whether it's kit, clothing, nutrition, cash, whatever it
mental,
is. Exactly.
Support,
And one of the things with me is, as an athlete, we talk about sponsorship. It's very easy to. A lot of athletes out there throw sponsors around and all that sort of stuff. But anyone that I'm, like I used to work with Alex a little while ago with a different company, and I only get sponsored by people I believe in and I know and I'm close to, and the products that I can actually. I don't want to sell something I don't believe in, and I think that's. I don't want to be a sellout, for instance. Any product that I believe in and something I think can do other people good, then I'll always back it. And it's great to have help, and I'm very close with my sponsors. They do help me a lot, not just by giving me product, but anything I need, we have discussions, and I can call them any time of the day. And I'm very close to all the guys, so it's great with Excalibur and Medi-Evil to have that relationship, and hopefully both of us can grow from the project.
The results tell. What you produce is great. So that's great. Guys, thank you very much. Look, man, I can't wait for your fight. I'm sure you can't as well. So I all wish you all the best. We're going to be following you. So
cheers. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.